to the TI8 Qualifiers. This is the European region. We're going to be watching Wind and Rain versus Alliance, or as Sin would call them, War and Rain, for some reason, because your brain just works that way.
Sometimes brain no work.
It's okay. I forgive you. Alliance actually getting the first pick Chen this time around. We saw Wind and Rain play Chen earlier to great effect. They partnered with the Mag. I believe it was them who played it that way, correct?
Yes, it was.
That was the first game we saw of them.
Absolutely.
Right, yes.
And this game is going to be banned by Alliance. So in the open qualifiers, Alliance played Wind and Rain in a best of 3. And I think Alliance banned Mag all 3 games first phase. So they definitely knew that this is something Wind and Rain like to run. They're going to grab a very early Mirana pick, actually, into this Chen. Interesting to see this. As we talked about earlier on panel, there were some games in China where China has been prioritizing Mirana very highly compared to the other regions. Maybe Wind and Rain have been inspired a little bit by that, we'll see.
I mean, it's kind of okay against Chen. It doesn't really give you kill pressure on a Mirana. You can arrow a creep. There's some benefits to it. But if it's a true full-fledged like push, Mirana doesn't really do much.
No. This hero, however, does against the full push. But not very strong in lane against Chen, however. So that might be something Alliance will try to take advantage of. They're going to grab themselves a Beastmaster to play together with this Chen. Very classic Alliance opening here.
Makes the Wyvern better, though.
Yes, the save of Cold Embrace is nice against Beastmaster, and of course the Curse against Book. He might simply not go Necro Book for that reason this game, we'll see. As he can easily be killing himself with that Necro usage. We're gonna get a PL ban here from Alliance.
It's been a while since I've seen Winter Wyvern, just like, at all. I mean, I think that the hero is... in a 2-1-2 kind of meta, I feel like he's just okay. And your mid game is pretty much based around you ult something and hope that it dies, or you're just a save and some moderate wave clear. Like that's your contribution to the game.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like at one point this hero was just every single game picked, like all the time. And everyone would always play him the same. They would always just TP to a lane if it was empty with like a Soul Ring or Trank or something like that, and they would just spam the wave to keep it clear. And then whenever there was a team fight, all they would do is they would cast their one spell and Cold Embrace someone, and that's it. That's all you have to do.
It's a little bit harder than that.
Well, the basic premise is the same.
Yeah. Most heroes, you go somewhere and cast a spell.
Sometimes more than one spell.
Yeah, well, you said a couple. I mean, if you want to have a team fight impact, you're using all 4 spells. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we're losing a lot of, or well, not a lot of time. We're losing some of the first bonus time, rather, here for Alliance on their 5th ban. They have got rid of the PL so far. Ember has been removed by Wind and Rain. It's a great hero against the Wyvern. Being able to be very mobile, jump the backline, and catch Wyvern is something that hero really does not enjoy. Might be seeing perhaps the Storm Spirit considered for Alliance for that reason, maybe later on. For Koikva, it is one of his heroes. Or maybe Mika plays it.
Even into the potential Mirana matchup? Because I don't think Storm is favored in that matchup at all.
I'm not sure how bad that lane goes.
I think it's pretty bad, because Storm's not even 600 range. And Mirana is, what, 630, I think?
Yeah, she has more than 600, I think. Storm is pretty good base armor. But
yeah, what usually ends up happening in Mirana matchups is that even though you don't really hit as hard as some of the other mids, you end up just hitting the hero so many times that eventually he can't really feel free to go and contest, and you have to start manipulating creep aggro, and it just becomes a mess. Like, it's not a fun thing to lane against Mirana. Especially in the mid lane.
I don't really think we're going to be seeing the Storm anyway, so might not be too big of a deal.
I think it is good to, like, conceptually during the mid game, it's great against what Wind and Rain have right now. Yeah. But that's assuming that you get a lane. I mean, you could safe lane it. It's not. I don't think
the Mirana lane is that bad that you have to dodge it. I think you lose by maybe a little bit. It shouldn't be that awful. You buy some regen on your Storm. You go in, you put some remnants in the wave whenever you need to. And then
I mean, it is Koikva as well. He's a very, very good player, so he can probably make it work.
Could be Mickey too.
That's true.
They swap around sometimes. Mickey Storm is great as well. So they have 2 players on the hero. The question is if it fits the style that they're looking for with this Chen Beastmaster opening. There's the Lycan ban. They're actually banning Lycan while having Wyvern, considered one of the best counters as far as supports go. Cold Embrace against all of Lycan stuff. You can maybe curse him next to either his Book or his Wolves, but of course a skilled Lycan can just send all of his summons on you, but not himself. And then you kind of have to curse a creep or run. And in either case it feels pretty bad. So, well, Wind and Rain. Timer is ticking down. Alliance did not ban Drow, which is a potential opening here later on if they're interested in Wind and Rain. I don't think they'll be grabbing it just yet because of especially the implications of what Chen can accomplish in the offlane. They're gonna grab Naga. This is a very fast counter pick. Straight into the Rubik for Insania. It's a hero we haven't seen for a while.
It's also not exactly clear what they're picking it for either. I would say in some situations, there's like two times when you pick Rubik. Obviously, he's going to have a pretty strong laning partner. He has to because he's a Rubik. If he doesn't, he's just going to lose his lane really hard. Or there's some really good thing that Nullfield deals with. So like against Venomancer, for example. Nullfield's fantastic in Zeus, those types of heroes. And then the third one is like really good stuff to steal.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like he meets any of those criteria right now.
I think the aura is decent against Wyvern Mirana. It's a lot of magic damage you can block. You're playing a Chen lineup, so you probably want a 5-man, and then you can use the aura.
But couldn't you just pick Oracle
pushes.
if that was your whole thing?
Oracle doesn't really have the best setup for Chen in the same way Rubik does in plays. He can lift into Chen's creeps if you want to make a move together somewhat early in the game, maybe collapsing on mid, for example. And there are some decent steals. Actually, they do end up getting it. There are some decent steals. You can steal Wyvern's ulti. You can steal... Actually, all of Wyvern's spells are relatively useful, except the first one.
Yeah.
For Rubik. Mirana has some good spells. Stealing Arrow is nice. Stealing Moonlight is nice. Naga Song could be
I mean, Morph, honestly,
play if
like
you're
stealing Waveform is probably my #1 grab this game right now.
Yeah, they didn't know it at the time, though.
Yeah,
it got picked after, but it's rare that Rubik has a game where you're just like, nothing is a good steal. There's almost always some sort of thing that meets a condition that you can use in the fight.
So PL's banned. Actually, Alliance banned that on their own. Open up the Morph pick for Wind and Rain. There's no Doom either. Honestly, it doesn't seem like a free Morph game, but I don't think he's going to be pressured for a good while. Like, the laning phase might not be super great for him because he could potentially be up against a Chen. And given the supports that Wind and Rain currently have, I don't really think that they deal well with Chen in lane. But if he can get to the mid game, we might be seeing that the build of the Chinese teams were going, I think it was, they would just go like Dragonlance, Morbid Mask, Manta. I think that would be a really good build for this game.
Actually, Wind and Rain is spending a lot of time on this ban right now. They do, of course, have the benefit of having the final pick of the draft. They will be banning Nature's Prophet, so covering their bases against a potential Koikva Furion. I do have a feeling this will end up being a Koikva Storm, and they will get Mickey another hero, because the heroes that Koikva does not play when he... that Koikva does not play mid are kind of out of the pool. Never mind. There was one left. They're putting him on Visage.
So it is a safe lane Storm.
I think it's mid Storm, safe lane Visage.
Oh, you think it's safe lane Visage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, both heroes really need levels, so you kind of got to pick which one has the better game.
Yeah, but I feel...
You might actually put the Storm safe lane. I think you're right.
I think the Visage benefits more from the levels. There's not a lot of heroes that would say that over Storm, but having Familiars faster is an enormous difference.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
So the 5-man, it's very clear here. Alliance want to like group up, take advantage of Beastmaster Aura, use that attack speed for the Familiars, buy team items such as Crimson Guard and Pipe maybe, and just try to bulldoze down towers and the enemy base. I don't really like this last pick, actually. I don't think this is a great Night Stalker game. I'm ready to be proved wrong. Of course, the vision advantage is nice against a hero like Beastmaster and Storm, but Alliance's flat-out 5-man just looks really, really strong, and Wind and Rain's tools are just not really the best. They've got Curse, they've got a Song, but what do they combo with? There's not really any nice teamfight ability like a Warlock Golem, for example, or anything like that. So I kind of like Alliance in this game if their lanes don't go horribly wrong.
Yeah. It just seems like they have a very clear way that they win the game. I mean, they're just going to pressure, and the team, normally outside of the Storm pick, they don't really have a tremendous amount of catch. They got Roar, and that's about it. But because they have Storm, once they get to that point where they're starting to control the map, he is probably the best hero from a core position that can just completely asphyxiate you and stop you from getting out of the map and making anything happen. So if they do have good lanes, I could very easily see this snowballing.
We do have a little bit of a pause here as Ritsu has paused the game. Not sure what the reason is. We're not seeing anything in chat so far about what the pause is all about. Curious to see how the Radiant are going to lane this. If they are just putting standard lanes with Night Stalker top with the Naga and Wyvern with the Morphling. More than likely Naga will actually be playing with the Morphling, but neither of these two supports deals well with Chen. So I think Alliance's goal with the Chen should definitely be to destroy Morphling's early game, slow him down.
What if they just put the Morph mid and then either safe or aggro the Mirana? I mean, trying to avoid the Chen. Do you think the Chen's just going to follow him no matter where he goes?
He has the option to pressure him in mid, but I think you're right. If you put Morphling mid, you probably keep him safer, and you can put Mirana in side lane. That's not out of the question. You could definitely see that working out as well.
It also depends on the mid matchup too, because if it is mid Visage, I don't think Morph really cares too much about that. It's not like the Visage is going to kill him. Sure, Grave Chill's annoying, but it's annoying for every hero.
Yeah. No, I think Morph wins that lane. Visage is a weak laner.
Because whenever he goes, you can just waveform into him and hit him a few times, and he has no counterplay. He can't turn around and trade with you.
By the way, while we're paused, I can give you guys an update on the brackets, the standing in the round robin. OG are already qualified for top 4. They're 5-0, as they have currently, or they have now beaten Kinguin, Final Tribe, Kingdra, Singularity, and Blink Point. No, that's not what they're called.
Blink Pool.
Blink Pool. Close enough. I'm just messing up words today. And Wind and Rain are currently 3-1, so a win here puts them in a great position, almost guaranteed top 4. And then we have 3 teams tied for 3rd place on 2-2, which is Singularity, Blink Pool, and Team Kinguin. Alliance are 1-2, so a win here will bring them into contention for 4th. And finally, Final Tribe and Kingdra are 1-3 and 0-4, respectively. Kingdra are, I believe, mathematically eliminated already, unless there's some ridiculous tie for 4th, with like 5 teams being 3 and 4 or something.
We've seen crazier stuff happen, to be honest.
We have. I think, as it looks on Wikipedia now, they're not marked as definitively eliminated on the bracket, so it should be possible.
I mean, yeah, there is a chance, but it requires a lot of losing from other teams.
All right, we got our resume going. Of course, if you guys are joining us for this EU coverage and you want more, there's a couple more games coming up after this. There's 2 more sets of games after this. There will be Singularity versus Kinguin, or OG versus Alliance, and then there will be Blink Pool versus Kingdra on... I'm not sure which stream that is going to be on, if it's going to be here on BTS4, but there's a couple of... There's other games running as well on one of the other BTS channels, so make sure you check that out. Currently, I believe the Final Tribe will be going up against Kingdra, and then maybe the next round of the other side has actually already started with Singularity, Kinguin, or OG versus Alliance. It's not possible. So Singularity, Kinguin would be the one in that case. Okay, in we go. Morphling has returned, so we're ready to rock and roll for the Radiant, and we're rock and rolling with an instant smoke. So it looks like they want to smoke out, place wards, and get information about where the Chen wants to play.
Yeah, their laning information is so important for Radiant. Just because the run over potential from Alliance is super strong. The wave clear is not really great. Like, you have a Mirana and a Naga, and I guess the Winter Wyvern also adds a little bit of wave push as well. But you kind of really want like 5 to 7 for it to start to feel powerful. And they are going to spot out Taiga, so they know that he's at least top for the moment.
Yeah. They will be putting Koik for safe lane, by the way. He has bought safe lane items. Storm is standing mid. We'll wait here and get ready to block. So the Visage safe lane is really weak against a lot of matchups, and for that reason they might want to help him with Chen and just let Rubik Beastmaster take care of bottom. And that looks, at least for now, to be the idea. A lot of chickens.
Yeah, the second they spotted the Chen, they started moving Ritsu across the map. They don't have any intention of putting up against that hero.
Nope. And it does indeed look like a morph mid, so good call.
I just figured that that would be the easiest place for him to exist in this game.
Yeah, he's
Like,
fine against both Storm and the Visage in the early game.
Yeah. Of the two, I think that Storm probably fares better, though, because Storm can actually shove the wave.
Yes, I would agree. Milan has to TP away here. Took a lot of damage. And now he's committed. Now he's rooted up here.
Yep.
So he has to stay in this area, and the Naga can now not really come top and help unless they want to leave their Mirana alone. So, kind of an interesting TP there from Milan to set the lanes. Alright, well they're going to take it. Okay.
Another one.
Well, got a little bit of a mirror there.
I guess the difference is in 20 seconds, Taiga will be able to... Actually, no, they're going to body block the camp. What am I saying? They're not going to... He's not going to be able to get a creep. I mean, I say that, but he hasn't walked to the camp yet. He still hasn't walked to the camp.
Okay, he's actually just flat out not going, and it's not blocked by a sentry either. He's too late.
Yeah, he's too late.
Whoops. Pings it out.
It's a troll. Not
Sorry.
the worst, but still annoying. It's not the lane-ending Satyr creep.
True.
If it was, I would be super sad for Warren, or for... See, now I'm even
Oh,
saying
Warren
it.
Rain, huh? They're called Wind and Rain.
I blame you. Oh, net top lane.
Oh.
4F getting really low here.
Yep. Should be okay for now. Backing off. And you're just seeing them taking advantage of their earlier level 2s here. On
Oh, they're gonna get the
and
creep
Wyvern.
down.
Oh, failed to deny, actually. That's a lot of experience that they just gained there.
That's alright. Chen will be back shortly. Oh, first blood.
Okay, that
Bottom
was
lane.
not really an expectable kill, I think.
Wow,
Oh, well,
they
anyway.
killed the Beastmaster? I guess
Yeah.
net into arrow?
And into arrow, but he should have been relatively low to even be a kill. They don't have arrow. Okay.
Wait, what?
They Starstormed him to death.
He doesn't have arrow.
I guess Boxy took a lot of just sustained harass. You were talking about how Mirana just keeps harassing heroes constantly.
Yeah, she does get a lot of autos.
Raul was probably doing that with Riptide, and then Boxy might have been too confident staying there and not using his flask, perhaps.
That's just a shock. Like, Beastmaster has one of the most, like, large effective HP pools in the early game. I guess they did just nerf his armor. So...
Yes. -2 armor was a big deal. Raids 2 with the nuke. Actually going to town here. Oh, if he had mana for a waveform there, he might have actually gone for the kill. But he was just a little bit short. Milan gonna get opened on by Chen. Centaur creep coming in. Koikva has slowed him down and will actually
Oh, he's level 3.
skill
Big
soul
damage.
assumption and grab the kill.
I mean, that being said, he is being hard pressured up here. He only has 5 CS. That is not the kind of start that you really want. I suppose once he gets 6, it'll kind of be a moot point because the birds just can farm waves even if he's not there, and he'll be able to recover pretty much no matter what. This early game is a lot of trading between both these lanes. Bottom is just people just beating the crap out of each other more or less. Axe is being thrown around. Bryle just auto-attacking all day. Still hasn't
Fate
skilled
Bolt.
arrow.
Well, so far so good for both teams, really. Nightstalker with great farm, Visage with relatively bad farm, but that's just Visage in lane for you. It's very hard to win the lane. You just want to get your level 6 as fast as possible. Gonna see a bit of a stun come out. Actually, Koikva is dead. Overrun by Wyvern and Nightstalker. These Chen stuns did not really get enough job done.
That's a surprising amount of damage. You know, level 2 Void, level 2 Splinter Blast, middle lane. A little bit of a trade going on. This is an interesting dual lane because you can't... Like, I guess you can go for the kill, like, all in on the Wyvern because he's the easier target, and there's obviously no Cold Embrace yet, but it feels like trading doesn't feel good in that lane. This is an immediate rotation from Milan. Oh, he's just dead.
Oh, Mieke tried for the trade, but lots of stick charges on the Naga. We'll grab the kill mid together with Morphling. Morphling getting the credit for the kill. That's a lot of nice gold into his pockets. And a 1,000 gold lead currently for Wind and Rain in this early game. And they're winning the early game against Chen. That's generally a really good sign. And I was questioning the Night Stalker pick, but gotta say his laning stage has been going great. He ended up laning against the Visage. That may have been the reason they picked it, that they saw weakness in laning. It's one of 4F's absolutely best heroes, so he was probably like, give me Night Stalker, this is a great game for it. Qualifier will try to kill off Milan. Not successful. And I believe this was a 2-for-2 rune trade. No, 4-for-0.
Oh, 4 for
wow,
0,
they got
yeah.
all of them. Oh dear.
That's another like couple hundred gold lead.
More than that. Each of these runes is 300.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, it's way more than that then. See, that's why we have you, Sin. You're the math guy.
I think so. I think they're 60 gold per player, right? The first ones. So it's 300 each. That's 1,200.
Those are the second bounties. The first ones are 40. The second
Oh
ones...
yeah, I mean the first one's spawning at
Oh,
5
yeah,
the
yeah,
5-minute
yeah.
ones. No, maybe they're 50 only then. Oh, I can't remember. It's a good amount of gold.
It's a decent amount, yeah.
Ritsu playing up aggressively. He's turning into Storm. Oh, that was such a good try, though. Perfect use of the Morph, turning into the Storm, getting the Overload attack off, switching back into Morphling, getting the hits off, but just not enough. Just a little bit missing there from the kill. Oh, look who's in trouble again.
He's getting sent back, but not gonna...
Oh, there's gonna TP help up from Rubik as well. He's gonna be too late as well. This is not looking good for Alliance. They're just getting run over in the laning stage. There's no real silver lining either. Like, nothing is going well.
I think this is the actually kind of byproduct of having the Visage, and then a Rubik being a support with a Chen sounds really good on paper, but that's back in the like the tri-lane era, right? Where you could get kills with the Chen and the Rubik being together, but since they're not together, you're not really getting the strength of that hero combination. So you're just getting ran at in one lane, and then the Rubik TPs, and if it's a little bit too late, you just lose the hero.
That is... It's definitely not as good as it used to be. I still think the strategy can be played with those two heroes together, but...
It just has to be more succinct. You have to be together, like, if you want to make it work.
I think you need to have stronger laners, probably, than this. The Beastmaster is obviously a strong laner, but you got a Storm mid, and you got a Visage safe lane. So your supports have to work overtime to even make the lanes work out decently. And they have not. Naga, gonna get hit by the clap. There is a rock throw. Arrow's gonna be way off the mark. He will throw out the axes before he dies, but...
I think he just threw it to prevent him from walking backwards.
Yeah. Oh, Bryle used all his mana. Okay. He probably thought he had mana for a leap as well. Uh-oh. That was a bit of a blunder from him. If they get Kitrak 2 here, wow, that would be so good for Chen. Yeah, this golem is dying. They're getting it. Giving it to Rubik. Okay. Bryle was trying to get as much out of that as possible. He wanted to harass the Chen with Starstorm and then leap out, but didn't account for the fact that he was actually completely out of mana after the Starstorm, so... That's a mess up, and will bring Chen and Rubik into a much better position in the game. But still, not looking too hot. Bryle will get killed again? He just died bottom.
It's because he had 2 boulder creeps and a net creep. He just got stun locked.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because the Mud Golem died under the tower, right? So he just gets the two smaller Mud Golems, so he just gets chain stun.
That and Rubik. Very nice. Wind and Rain are going to lay down the pressure on the mid tower now. Mickey is connected. He is going to be spotted by 4F's Night Vision. Immediately just posing up aggressively here. Didn't reach the silence, just barely jumping away with the Storm.
He doesn't have it, Cinder.
Oh, he doesn't have it?
No.
Oh, I hate it.
I just love it how it happens every single game, and every time you get so upset. I mean, every Night Stalker we've seen today, it's happened.
No. That was one that skilled it.
Wait, which game was that?
I don't remember, but that was one that skilled it where we were both ready to complain. I think it was Bambo. He had it, but it was on cooldown. If you remember.
Oh, yeah, it was Bambo. He went 3-1-1. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Bambo's got our back. He knows.
Bambo knows.
So, the one interesting thing about having this kind of early game where we're seeing a Night Stalker have a lane is that he's going to have his Crimson really early, and Quakefoot could be in trouble here. Nice bird stuns. TP reaction in. Nice roar follow-up into Bryle. Axis hit on both heroes.
Man, Bryle's game is just falling apart really quickly.
Yeah, he's having a rough go.
He was having a great start. Now he's died 3 plays in a row, and all of a sudden, he's actually below the Beastmaster's net worth. quick response from Alliance. I loved that play. That was very clear communication, that's for sure. Quack was like TP top with Beast, and he just double stuns into Roar. Nicely done.
Yeah, but I was going to say that the Crimson timing being earlier against the lineup of the Visage and a Chen is very crucial. So it was good that up until that point, you know, the Night Stalker was having a good lane. He's second on net worth. So as long as Forev continues this pace and can keep himself consistent on farm, then they get those items up. I think the game's going to get really hard for Alliance because Crimson makes Chen feel absolutely useless. Question is, are they going to actually keep up the tempo?
Well, for now they are. The only one who dropped tempo a little bit was the Mirana, but she's back to hitting bottom tower together with Ritsu. Looks like Alliance are not interested in defending. They want to make their own move top, but Moonlight Shadow and Night Stalker will back off. They basically just get a free tower. And still looking in a very comfortable position. Wyvern could get a curse. Oh, that hurt so bad. Moonlight Shadow and all the shit on top. 10 creeps, Chen birds. Oh, Lord.
Wow. Did you see how much gold just changed hands there?
How much did Wyvern get?
Let's see. Well, I don't think it shows all of it, actually.
That is all of it, I believe.
Well,
oh, well,
total,
that might be without the AoE gold.
Yeah, it's without the AoE gold, but
yeah. Wyvern got
about 1,000.
A lot of money.
Yeah. He's actually going for the Blink Rush. No more Soul Ring Ether Lens builds, I guess.
I like Dagger.
I mean, Dagger's phenomenal. It's definitely good. Just for a long time, people really seem to... Like on Lion, too, I see it all the time. It's like Ether Lens instead of Blink. And I didn't really get it, but I played it a few times. And as far as I can gather, it's just like... If you are good at positioning and you have an Ether Lens, then you don't really need the Blink depending on circumstance. Especially with a hero like Wyvern who already has long-range spells.
Yeah.
And plus it gives regen, which is nice. So
true. But the dagger is still really nice for a quick... It's about getting a quick play.
That's a dead Chen in his own base.
Yeah, the rest of his team didn't really want to come back there, making their own play, pushing this bottom tower. Kitrak is currently in position for a song. Might want to try to stop TPs.
Yeah, he doesn't have vision. He's not going to be able to stop it if he... Well, he can still see Koikfa at least. Koikfa doesn't have it, TP. That's a... Uh-oh.
Make it basically jump down and presented himself, and well, they're going to get the hell out of there. They leave Koikfa behind.
I mean, he knew he could get out. The only way he dies there is if Bryle arrows out of the sleep, but he balled in like such a way that I think it was pretty much impossible for him to get aired, because he was sitting in the bottom part of the lane, and most likely if TPing the Shrine, the angle wouldn't work, really. I think he just wanted to make them run away. It just didn't work. Oh, Invis here on Boxy. This is a hard kill. Okay, they're going to go for it.
A lot of damage being dealt here with the Penitence as well as the raw follow-through, but didn't. Just flat out didn't get him. They brought him down to half only.
Yeah, he's got a full Vanguard already.
Curious to see if what they're going to do with this nighttime. There's the dagger play. Should be a dead Rubik. He's going to curse Chen next to his own creeps. And he's
nicely timed there from Royale on the Starstorm.
They should have another ensnare relatively soon. Yeah, there it is for Kitrak. Let's see if they have enough damage. Oh, more than enough. Easy kill on Boxy as well. Alliance are getting destroyed, honestly.
Yes.
If it wasn't for these mistakes from Bryle that threw him off a little bit, this would be out of control almost. It's still very, very good, but Alliance can come back in this with a couple of good team fights, mainly with Storm jumping in. If he can find the Wyvern before the fight breaks out, control him. Perhaps the follow-through can be enough, but he's still... What does Storm even have? Does he have an Orchid? No, he doesn't have the gold for it yet. Kaya, and he's going Bloodstone. Oh, I think it's too slow.
I think he's switching it. Yeah, he has Orchid now on his quick buy.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I just feel like the Chen hasn't done anything. Like the offlane tier 1 is still like 90% HP. The mid tier 1 is like 80% HP. Sure, they got the safe lane tower, but you have a Chen lineup at 14 minutes, with a Beastmaster, and you've taken 1 tower.
Yeah, the primary problem is just the weakness of their lanes once again. Like, Chen doesn't win his lane here. He's just keeping it afloat, somewhat. Not even keeping it afloat, because it's a Visage. And like we talked about, it may have been better to put the Visage mid, so he can have a better game. And safely in the Storm. He has higher armor. He can maybe sustain himself, stand his ground against Night Stalker. Oh, hearing a Vortex. Oh. Okay.
Illusion down.
They got it.
Illusion got wrecked. Yeah, I just felt like the Visage is more level dependent, honestly. Because once you get the birds, you're going to get farm. But you're delaying the birds by splitting EXP with a Chen. And the irony is that I don't even think that Wind and Rain played the lane that good because they didn't block the camp. Like,
yeah.
They let the creep spawn. And I guess they got a kill with the creep, right?
I don't think the troll gave them a creep, no. Not that I can remember.
You mean a kill? I thought they got it. Maybe I'm delusional. I don't know. I've been up for a while. But, yeah.
Didn't I say the creep gave them a kill? Or what do you mean?
No. Yeah, but you said the creep gave them a creep.
Oh, I meant no. Oh, good curse coming out on Chen. He will die once more. No Hand of God to be used in this fight. Perfect Starstorm combination as well. Nice heal onto Forev. Buying time here, but Mickey will be able to connect in. Oh, perfect!
Nice.
Wow! Lovely stuff from Ritsu as well as Kitrek. That was absolutely flawless execution. Damn, Wind and Rain are just on another level in this game than Alliance. Stuff like that makes me very hopeful that they could have a chance going further. That was excellent. I do believe they've lost a game against OG, Wind and Rain, since OG are 5-0. Or?
No, they don't play until tomorrow.
Oh, they lost to Blinkpool. I see.
Yeah, they play OG tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Damn, that fight was sick.
The 2 games that I've seen them in, they have looked very strong.
So quickly just having a look at the game that they lost to Blinkpool. I'm just curious about the picks of what Blinkpool did run against them. Got it here. They lost to Mag, PL, Windrunner, Lina, and Treant. Blinkpool's Treant has been winning them quite a lot of fast games.
Interesting.
For Misery. It might become a ban later on. From some teams. So what do you do in this game now as Dire? Your lanes kind of fell apart. You lost a couple of mid-game team fights. You're very far behind on Visage. Nobody is having a good game. That's the problem. Like, if one of them was having a good game, they could play around that guy and try to make something happen. But every single move they've been counterplayed.
Well,
their lineup is pretty greedy too when you look at it. If these lanes don't work out, everybody's playing catch-up. Storm needs to catch up. Visage needs to catch up. Beast can try to make moves.
Yeah, the Beast has the blink at least. I mean, normally you see the Shadow Blade, but in this type of situation, you need the guaranteed in. And I think that's where the blink's really going to secure it for you. So, Crimson Guard done now on Forev, and he's going back for the Medallion as well. So it's going to be the stacking armor, which I think is perfect itemization against what Alliance have. Visage is pretty much, if he can't deal physical damage to you, then his Soul Assumption is not really going to do much. And Storm doesn't really have the items to go in. Beastmaster's the same, most of its physical damage. I'm thinking that the only way that Alliance can really come back is if Wind and Rain make a very big blunder. But I do think that if that blunder happens, that this is another one of those games where a Storm can definitely carry it.
Yeah, it feels like a good Storm game if it's even. So you got to see if you can make your way back into this. There's going to be a TP in Crimson Guard from Forev to defend the tower. Well, managed to hold it. Rubik has used his Moonlight Shadow that he stole earlier, so Alliance are looking for their own move onto maybe the Night Stalker. I feel like they're going to regret it if they try to jump him, but they may just try regardless. He's going to show on the wave. They're opening up. Actually, he's going to make the first move. He gets ensnared immediately by Koikos dominated Troll Creep. There's the song into no arrow, actually, this time around. Not the best execution. They still brought down Insania already. Beastmaster's dropping low to Storm. He will be ensnared to Mickey, barely getting out of this one. He's out of mana. He's going to go down. Beastmaster not looking too hot either. And Forev is still doing fine. They get the stun off on Koikva, so no TP out for him. This could be a full team wipe unless Chen somehow manages to get out alive, and he will. But, yep. It's Wind and Rain all day.
The itemization just
4
came
for
out
no.
too fast. I think when you have these lineups with, you know, they're dependent on creeps. You know, you
Yeah.
have Birds and Chen and Helm of the Dominator and all that other stuff. If a Crimson Guard comes out this early, and you haven't already dealt some kind of structural or economical damage to your opponent, the game just looks so hard.
Yeah.
That is probably like one of the biggest reasons why a lot of teams don't like playing these types of heroes. Because if you don't, you know, stop those timings or get some kind of advantage in another lane, they crush your hero.
Yeah. The Crimson Guard, as well as the Cold Embrace, really, in this game, both are really, really big problems for Alliance to deal with. And remember, this was a first phase Wyvern pick.
Yeah.
They've really picked into it.
It was
except the Storm.
Yeah, it was a reaction to the Chen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because Chen was overall first pick.
Yeah. It was. But you still chose to pick Visage into Wyvern, for example, which I think is a pretty bad matchup, actually.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
The Curse ruins you, your Birds are going to kill someone. The
Birds
heal is
can
amazing.
kill you, too.
Yep.
Like, the ultimate irony is that Gravekeeper's Cloak is the thing that makes Visage seem so good against heroes like Lina, for example, who can't really break through the entire thing in one go unless you're auto-attacking. And your Birds eat through your Gravekeeper's Cloak so fast,
Yeah.
you just fall over.
Do they actually deal enough damage to eat stacks?
I think so. It only takes 50 damage.
Yeah, how much do they deal? Where are his Birds?
Level 2 Birds are 45 damage. Oh, actually, so they need to be level 3 Birds before they break it.
So.
But at level 3, they do break it. So
Regardless, if his cloak is broken, he gets killed by his Birds.
Yeah.
Alone in a
Absolutely.
curse. And even if they get to hit him in the curse, it's still all of his units under his control. He can't do anything. It's like having a massive AoE stun on Visage the whole time. Very dependent on those creeps. Moonlight Shadow, they're going to use it to kill this dominated creep and start pressuring Roshan. Excellent vision in the whole area for the Radiant. Look how many wards they have out right now. 5 placed, 4 in the perimeter of the Roshan area, and 1 inside their own jungle to see any movements, to get a read on if anyone is farming down there. This is pretty much perfect vision coming out from them. It's been a...
I don't think I've ever seen a team have this many wards down at the same time so far.
It's pretty rare to have 5 wards on.
Yeah.
The same.
Not only is it rare to not have them dewarded, but it's rare to actually physically have that many wards to place in the same time frame.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So I guess you just play the side lanes for Alliance and hope for the best for a little while.
Yeah, does that feel like a winning strategy, though?
Well,
I'm...
it's the only strategy that I can see giving them a time where they could win. Because if they fight into Aegis right now, let's see, buybacks...
Ritzer could die here.
Oh, top
If Storm
lane,
charges over a really long ball lightning, he doesn't. They're gonna curse the Beastmaster into Arrow, into everything.
Goodbye, sir.
Boxy tried for a side lane play, but they were ready with the Visage. Oh, sorry, the Wyvern. And gets absolutely nothing out of that one. Crash and burn.
There's just points in the game where you're not going to be able to take fights, and the heroes need to take risks. Like, that's just Dota. There are a lot of times where people just sit and they farm, you know, their tri-neutral camp on the Dire side. That's like the classic, right? You're losing the game, so what do? You farm the Ancient and the 2 camps right next to it. But the reality is, you have to be willing to die in a side lane so that the enemy team doesn't group up and end the game.
Yeah. Well, Korko's putting the pressure that he can, but he ended up losing his Dominator creep plus both of his Birds. Will probably have to be resummoned. There we go. Yeah. It's not pretty for Alliance. Wind and Rain are just going to keep dominating this map the way they have. It's nighttime. Pretty sure Chen's not getting out of this one. It's nighttime with a gem, by the way. Uh-oh. All he needs to do is not cast his Void yet. Wait for Wyvern to connect. And there we go. Now he can.
An attempt was made.
Yeah, why even try? Now he wasted his TP, Andy. Now he has to run out.
Well, I think he wanted to be
Well,
in
he didn't
base
have anything
anyway.
to TP on.
Is under attack.
He doesn't want to leave syndereN. That's the thing. He wants to stay in his base.
Oh, right.
I mean, he's level 8. And there's
Curse again? Curse? No, then never mind. That's Arctic Burn stolen by Rubik. Nicely done by Milan to ensure that Insania does not get the spell that he wants.
Dire's bottom tower
Yeah, they're just... they're all doing an excellent job right now.
So I guess the two things that we kind of talked about during the draft, the not quite understanding the Rubik pick, at least from my perspective, I didn't really think it was a great Rubik game. And then I guess the Storm and Visage together is a bit greedy, but I think if the Visage has a better lane, it doesn't feel as greedy. Because he can do a ton of work during the mid game as long as he has a reasonable start, but he just didn't have it this game.
Oh, long jump from Storm into TP. Okay, what was that?
Radiant's top tower is under
Wait,
attack.
did he get sent back? Wait,
I
what
think he
happened?
got sent home.
Well, why is he here?
Actually, no, yeah, he couldn't have gotten sent home.
Wait, what happened? Did he TP on the tower?
His TP's off cooldown. He didn't use it.
I actually have no idea what just happened.
Did he have enough mana to go all the way to and back? I don't...
Oh, maybe he just stopped halfway because he couldn't get there, and we
Yeah.
thought he jumped all the way, but he just stayed inside his base? Maybe.
Yeah, it's possible.
That was really confusing.
So,
Pipe Visage.
is it even good this game?
It is pretty good. Splinter Blast,
And Starstorm. Yeah, I guess that's
Starstorm.
enough to warrant it.
Waveform, E-Blade.
I almost would have preferred him just getting a Solar Crest and keeping a Hood. Because I think the evasion brings more value to your own survivability and even just damage output.
Yeah. The big problem right now is it seems for our Alliance that they can't really kill anyone. Okay, Ritsu. Blowing them up with the E-Blade. Instant silence onto the Night Stalker here. Or sorry, from the Night Stalker onto the Storm who was trying to make a move. He is getting sent back by Chen, so we'll grab that Aegis. A little bit of overconfidence from Ritsu here, not using the Morph earlier. Or Attribute Shift, rather. Curse up Chen next to the Visage. Didn't really get a kill out of that. Nice jump, but instant song. Kidstrike is on the money with the song here. And yeah, speaking of on the money, why not? Why not set it up with a perfect arrow and a follow-through onto the Beastmaster? Seems like a very fitting way to end this fight for Wind and Rain. Morphling is going to stay alive just fine as a result of Kidstrak's nice song save. Gonna freeze Forev here. E-Blade kill once again for Ritsu. This time he has the Attribute Shift running, so we'll be totally fine against all this damage coming in. It doesn't look like they plan on leaving anytime soon. They've got 20 seconds before Storm spawns. That's when things could start getting scary. But for now, they're tunneling down these barracks. They want to kill off the birds. They are managing to get maybe one of them here. No, actually both. Yep. And Visage with no resummon. 125 seconds. He has one bird. Never mind, he just used the resummon. I'm stupid. Okay, they're sending in a bird on top of Forev. Second bird as well. Alright, a little bit of Soul Assumption to tickle him on his way out, but nope, not enough. They only got the range tracks, at least for Alliance, but they are so damn far behind. They're getting so outplayed. I'm really impressed. Like, these two teams looked even in the open qualifiers, and Wind and Rain has just stepped up to a totally different level within these last few days of practice. Like, this is it's just flat out a different team. It's crazy to watch how fast they improve.
I was really impressed with them earlier because I didn't watch as many of the open qualifier games, but I'm guessing that you did since you know that the previous BO3 that they played against each other was, I guess, a bit closer than this.
Oh, it's extremely close. And the way Alliance lost it in the final game was...
Oh, I saw that.
They lost to Creep Wave.
I saw that one, yeah.
And Alliance before that also kind of threw away game 2, which is real. Oh, somebody's not paying attention!
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's almost 1,000 net worth lead per minute, so I'm not really sure that that death is really the nail in the coffin.
They're slowly hammering them in, though.
And this hammer might be...
Song of the Sirens ready. So, if they don't Orchid up the Naga, it's going to be an easy save. Okay, if they can at least use that. Cursing Koikwa. He's actually dying from full HP.
Goodbye. To
just his own birds. And a Satyr Creep. They're going to blast down the Chen. Man, this game is so over. Alliance have nothing.
All stacks of Gravekeepers on because his birds aren't level 3 yet.
They might have broken a bit first with Void or something. I think they may have restored after he died a bit. I don't know how it works.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right, actually.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Well,
top tower
second lane of Rex gone. Alliance, what's it going to be? Oh, They're still trying to hold on to them. There goes the ranged one. And melee soon to follow. They still have Song of the Siren to protect themselves on the way out, so not really scared of any sort of initiation coming from the storm. They just can't do anything here, Alliance, it seems. 30,000 gold, minute 30.
Yep.
This is such a nice graph to see, you know? A lot of these open qualifier and regional qualifier games have not have graphs like this. This is a graph of a team that knows what they're doing, build an advantage, and just keep not looking back. They've made one good move after the next, only made good decisions, pretty much. I can't really fault the Radiant for anything they've done in this game. So
Yeah, there's no real glaring errors in their play.
Really not.
I mean, besides Bryle's a little bit of...
Oh, true. Bryle
his
had an
snafu.
adventure. Bryle had his own little graveyard adventure with Mirana. But apart from that, it's been very nice and clean. Think about it. He died 3 times kind of stupidly.
Yep.
Without those deaths, 28-4? Maybe even better, because he would have had a better game, so they might have had more kills.
It's scary to think about the difference.
Forev is seemingly immortal with his 2,000 evasion and armor and damage block. They're going to curse Insania. They're going on to the Chen. Down goes Storm. Alliance are falling apart at the seams, and this is definitely the end of a very, very one-sided and impressive performance from Wind and Rain.
I don't even... It's very hard to watch.
Great to watch?
It was fun to watch because Wind and Rain did so well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you and I both to a certain degree thought that the Chen would be able to at least accomplish a bit more. You picked one of the strongest heroes in the patch. You have a Beastmaster. And did the Visage really just pull it down that much? I mean, I guess they also had Rubik. I feel like those 2 heroes were the biggest liability. Because they just, at the end of the day, they didn't really offer much. I mean, the Beastmaster died in lane bottom without Arrow being skilled.
Yeah. There was definitely a fair amount of misplays from Alliance, but the drafts, I agree, not strong enough in laning probably. They don't play to Chen's strength, which is enabling these heroes and then taking advantage, because he can enable one of them, but he can't enable all 3. So Beastmaster is not the one being enabled. He's playing with Rubik. Then he's trying to enable Visage, but Visage is so damn weak that it actually isn't enough. They're still losing the lane because of how weak Visage is. And finally, the mid lane matchup, Morphling ends up outplaying Mickey, or at least drawing. I think he won by denies, by quite a bit. I think he had 16 denies when Mickey had 2. You know, it adds up. Experience advantage. And just, yeah, what a beatdown. This was one of the best games I've seen this qualifier, and one of the ones I enjoyed the most because there were so many just, you know, good, sound plays from one team. It's great to see. It's entertaining in a different way than a close game where both teams are making mistakes. You're like, oh, who's going to win? Like, you know who's going to win this game in minute 15, right? But it's just nice to see them do a clean... I can really appreciate just, you know, good Dota. And Wind and Rain are definitely bringing it today.
Agreed. 100%. Can't wait to see them play against OG tomorrow.
That should be maybe the best game we get to see in the groups. Reminder that they did lose to Blinkpool, so there's a chance that Blinkpool are also catching some steam here. They were 0-2, now they're 2-2 after beating Wind and Rain, and who was it they beat? They beat them in a pretty close game, the other one. We actually cast that one. I forgot who they beat. But they are definitely 2-2. We can maybe scroll up and find it here. We got Lyrical on the case. Wind and Rain beat... Or sorry, not Wind and Rain. Blinkpool beat Alliance. It was. That was the close one. But they did eventually pull out a win from that one. Okay. Lyrical's making an interesting face here.